On air.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. So, welcome to Quezon City Public Library Reader Services Division webinar, Distress or Distress, a talk on taking care of oneself during tough times. So, I'm your moderator today. I'm Ms. Ana Honrade. Together with me is Ms. Grace Sobreviñas from Quezon City Public Library. Hi, Ms. Grace.
Hi, good afternoon to everyone. Hi, Ms. Ina. Isang mapagpalang araw po sa ating lahat.
Yes. So as of this afternoon, we have 353 participants. So we are still waiting for the others to come in po. Ayan. So while waiting for the others, we will play a video about Quezon City Public Library.
Livelihood na pwede mo pagkakitaan at mga government online services, passport, pag-ibig, NBI at SSS. Diba the best? Homework mo, huwag mo nang iasa kay nanay. Dito ka na sa QCPL tumambay. At meron din para sa ating mga chikiting Children's Corner, kakaiba ang dating. Kesa ipasyal natin sa mga mall at bila ng mga gadget. Dito sa QCPL, di mo na kailangan ng budget. Nakakaaliw pag nag-perform ang mga puppet. Ang bilis ng internet, mapapawaw, kahanep. Libre sa panahon, only QC. Ikaw man ay busy, di makagamit na PC. Homework mo, dito mo gawin napaka-easy. Huwag ka na pahuli, ikaw na rin ay bumili. Public library card para araw mapadala sa ipasyal natin sa mga mall at bila ng mga gadget. Dito sa QCPL, di mo na kailangan ng budget. Nakakaaliw pag nag-perform ang mga puppet. Ang bilis ng internet, mapapawaw, kahanep.
Okay, Ms. Ina, time check. It's 2:05 in the afternoon, and as of now, we have 432 participants. So good afternoon po, everyone.
Good afternoon,
I know it's
everyone.
Saturday. It's October 10, 2020.
And we are celebrating Mental Health Awareness Day.
I know it's yes, very tama, Ms. Ina.
So
I know it's siesta time, but thank you for joining us today, and thank you for spending the next few hours with us.
Okay, so Miss Grace,
Ms. Ina?
we have participants here from Mindanao, and We have from Batangas. So while we are still waiting for the others, we will have a poll. Okay, so more on ano siya, sa age and ayan. So nakikita niyo po ba yung sa chat box niyo? Ayan, so pakisagutan na lang po. So para po malaman natin kung ano po yung demographics po ng participants for today.
Ayan, as of now, we have for 47% for 18 to 24 years old.
So we also have participants who are 55 years old and above. And then we also have under 18 years old.
Okay, sumusunod din 25 to 34 years old. We have 17%.
So ang pinakamarami po natin for today is 18 to 24 years old.
Yan, mga millennials.
So I think we can start with the webinar proper. So to start off, this webinar intends to inform and update the public about the stress management techniques and engage our viewers in active participation in today's question and answer portion. So to welcome us, may I call on Ms. Marisa G. Chico, OIC City Librarian.
To our dear speaker, QCPL heads, librarians, staff, and to all participants, my warmest welcome to all of you. Every second week of October, pursuant to Proclamation number 452, we celebrate the National Mental Health Week, and this is in accordance with the World Mental Health Day, which is celebrated annually in this very day, October 10. This alone resounded the timeliness of this talk that we will have today from our expert speaker, Dr. Perez-Rifareal. Given our current global context, it became apparent that the issue of mental health has been a serious matter for the past years and with certainty will continue to be a serious matter for all of us. On a personal note, I am delighted to have a sort of follow-up talk on mental health. For a backgrounder, for those who weren't able to attend, we had a previous talk on how to cope up with stress, anxiety, and depression with our expert speaker today. I believe that this kind of discourse is not only timely, but is essential. For this will serve as another opportunity for us to open our eyes a bit more and to gain more empathy towards other people and most importantly, to ourselves. To all the attendees, I hope that you will find this talk possibly as insightful and useful as I find it to be. And I do hope that you will be able to apply all of the learnings in this talk to your own lives. Again, welcome, have a great day ahead, and God bless.
Thank you, Ms. Marisa, for that wonderful welcoming remarks. So, Ms. Ina, we have here another poll. So, bago tayo po mag-start, bago ko po ibigay sa inyo yung house rules natin, we have here another poll. Are you A or an blank? So, maraming sumagot dito, 40% or 39% ay student.
And we also have librarians, and teachers, psychologists, and HR staff or manager. And 20% po ng participants natin for today ay wala dito. Wala sa
others, actually.
And
so, nakikita nyo naman na welcome kahit anong profession natin dito and kahit anong age. And welcome po dito sa webinar. And this is World Mental Health Day. And lahat naman po tayo kailangan maging aware about our mental health. Lalo na ngayon ay pandemic. Marami tayong nararanasan. So, maganda yung prepare na presentation sa atin ng resource speaker. Okay, Miss Ina?
So to start off, we have our house rules. So first, by default, your mic and video are turned off. Second, always observe courtesy and respect. Third, write your questions in the chat box section. This will be accommodated during the Q&A portion of the webinar. So you can see the chat box on the right side of the screen. So pwede nyo pong ilagay dyan yung mga questions nyo and we will entertain it later. Fourth, finish the whole webinar and accomplish the evaluation form to get your e-certificate. So may deadline po tayo dito. Deadline is on October 12 at exactly 4 p.m. So if you have any questions po, you are free to message us on our official Facebook page at Quezon City Public Library.
Thank you, Ms. Ina. So reminder lang, kung meron tayong mga concerns or questions, meron tayong mga technical difficulties, sulat lang po natin sa chat box and we have facilitators po na mag-a-attend sa inyong mga concerns. Okay, Ms. Ina, I know na mga Gina or go na ang ating mga participants. So, pakilala natin ang ating resource speaker for today.
Before that, Miss Grace, we have a quiz for them para ma-assess yung stress management nila today. So, are you willing to take yan? So, please take this quiz po before proceeding to our webinar proper. So, it will be posted. Ayan. So, ipipin po namin siya sa chat box para makita niyo po yung link to the, magre-redirect po siya dun sa quiz for today.
Yan, pasagot lang po. It will take a couple of minutes lang po.
Ayan, so this quiz po is 29 items. I-assess niya po yung mood niyo for today. So, para po malaman din namin and magkaroon din po kayo ng idea kung ano po yung stress level niyo.
So while waiting, we can ask also kung ano yung expectations nila. We can type on the expectations nila.
Ayan, so nakapin na po siya sa taas ng chat box natin. So, how well can you handle stress? Ayan, so flash on your screen po is yung quiz.
Okay, time check. It's 2:15. We have 527 participants. And we have participants from Cebu, Manila. Good afternoon. Surigao. Yan, meron tayong mga participants from Surigao. Perez-Rifareal. From PNU, Visayas. Hello.
We also have from Cebu City and Batangas.
And of course, we have here our colleagues from QCPL, of course. Hello po dyan. From Samar.
Ayan, so meron na po bang nakatapos nung quiz? So, meron ng done dito. Ayan, so si Sir Manuel. Okay po, sige. We'll give you time to finish your quiz.
Participants from General Santos, Perez-Rifareal, Silangan, Quezon City. So, yan. Meron pa po bang ibang nakatapos sa ating quiz for today? Palagay lang po sa chat box. Okay, mukhang meron na din po mga nakatapos.
So after po ng quiz, makikita nyo po yung result on how you manage stress. Based po dun sa mga sinagot nyo sa quiz. So ayan, so as you can see on our screen, ayan, patapos na po yung...
Hopefully, tinapos nyo naman po, no? Baka meron pong na-stress sa quiz na yon. So, baka nga ito yung tamang webinar for you.
So, ito po yung example natin, Miss Grace, yung sa screen. Ayan, so you can handle stress the best. And then may quiz results. Ayan, so total results, meron siyang ayan, so hope nag-enjoy po kayo din sa quiz natin and malaman nyo po kung aling aspect kayo magaling mag-handle ng stress. So Miss Grace, let's move on to our
okay, so let's move forward na to our webinar proper. So let's introduce our resource speaker, Ms. Dr. Joan Mae G.
Our distinguished guest speaker is a BS Psychology graduate of the University of the Philippines, Diliman. She had her Doctor of Medicine degree at the University of the East, Ramon Magsaysay Memorial Medical Center. She had her residency training in psychiatry at University of the Philippines, PGH, where she served as chief resident in 2008. She is both a diplomate and a fellow board top-notcher of the Philippine Psychiatric Association. She completed a one-year clinical fellowship in Consultation-Liaison Psychiatry at Tan Tock Seng Hospital in Singapore. A member of the Committee on Advocacy, Legislation, and Media of the Philippine Psychiatric Association. She assisted the numerous victims of Typhoon Undoy in 2009, doing psychosocial processing with PPA Psychosocial Response Group. She produced a study presented at Taipei Medical University in Taiwan entitled A Cross-Sectional Study on the Relationship Between Stress and the Level of Job Satisfaction among the burn unit staff of UP-PGH. A former board member of the Philippine Psychiatric Association. Currently, she is an active in academe, a professor and subject expert in psychiatry at the Ateneo de Manila University, School of Medicine and Public Health, and also a professor of Health Science Program, School of Science and Engineering at the Ateneo de Manila University. Being a mental health advocate, she has been casting on television, a sought-after resource speaker on all major television networks in the country, a frequent guest in ABS-CBN, GMA7, CNN Philippines, and TV5 talk shows, such as The Rated K, Salamat Doc, and Good Vibes, as well as in radio programs of DZMM, DZBB, and Radio 5 that addresses mental health issues and wellness. Some of the interesting topics that she talks about were dealing with depression and anxiety, and the current state of the mental health in the Philippines. She is also the first ever and reigning Miss Philippine Psychiatric Association. a full-time consultant of the Department of Psychiatry at the Veterans Memorial Medical Center and a Residency Training Officer at the same institution. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Joan Mae G. Perez-Rifareal.
Hello.
Hi, Doc. Good afternoon po.
Good afternoon to everyone. Thank you very much to everyone for joining us this afternoon. Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao. Nakita ko from the chat box, talagang we are from all over the Philippines. So maraming salamat po for joining us this afternoon. And a happy Mental Health Day to all of us. So we are celebrating the World Mental Health Day today. So maraming salamat po, and I'm really appreciate your presence this afternoon, considering na it's a Saturday, rest day po ng karamihan sa atin, and walang pasok, no? Kasi it's a Saturday, and 2 o'clock is nap time, di ba? Siesta time. So really po, maraming salamat from the bottom of my heart for being able to join us this afternoon. Thank you very much to Regalo for our technical support this afternoon. Regalo Touching Lives, care of Sir Carlos. And of course, to our moderators for this afternoon, maraming salamat for having me again, Ma'am Anna and Ma'am Grace. Maraming salamat po. Let me share my screen po so that we can start. O, di ba? Is it there na po, Ma'am Anna?
Okay na po. Showing na po.
Showing na. Okay, so the topic for this afternoon is distress or de-stress. O, di ba? Gusto ba natin na ma-distress tayo, which is a severe form of stress, or to at least, di ba, cope better with stress. So this is a talk on taking care of ourselves during tough times, especially during this challenging time now. Now we are currently in the middle of a pandemic, so this talk really is very relevant during this time. And again, good afternoon po sa lahat. For the next few minutes, I hope that you can sit back, relax, and stop focusing on how stressed you are. But remember how blessed you are, di ba? We are really blessed. Now we are here together with our friends from all over the country. It's a brand new day. It's another day, and mas maganda po we focus na muna on the talk. Sit back, relax, and maybe later on you can ask questions. Send sa chat box po, and I will answer all of them. Maiksi lang po ito, no? And it's really to give time for me to respond to all of your questions or listen to your stories as well para mas magiging interactive siya for all of us. And this will be the outline for this afternoon. Let's look at some facts about wellness. What is wellness? Pag sinabing wellness, ano ba yun, no? And stress. Syempre, these two, no, should be defined para we know the difference. How about during this pandemic now and the new normal? What is the effect on our mental health? And we focus on some of the coping strategies to maintain a positive mindset during this pandemic as well as the new normal. So again, please, maraming salamat. Today is World Mental Health Day. It's celebrated globally. So maraming salamat sa QC Public Library for also, di ba, as mentioned kanina ni Ma'am na in her welcome remarks, talagang it's part of parang nasa law, no, mandated by law. She mentioned about a Republic Act now, which mandates for us to have activities like this to enhance and raise awareness on mental health. So maraming salamat po. First, let us look at wellness and stress. Ano ba ang definition ng wellness? When we say wellness, what is it, di ba? So wellness, in fact, is a state of a human being, an individual functioning at the most optimal level, no, pinaka-maximum level of functionality, and keeping in mind the three important elements of wellness, which are body, mind, and spirit. And when we say that an individual is well, this individual is happy, is healthy, and whole, di ba? O, ang ganda ng definition, ha? And he or she knows what the meaning or purpose of his or her life is. So, keeping in mind, no, kaya I underlined it, the three elements, body, mind, and spirit. So, let's picture it as a triangle, o, di ba? It's a health triangle, and it's important that we give equal importance to all of these three elements para there is that balance, na? So balance dapat, na? We give the same importance and attention to our social well-being, physical well-being, as well as mental and emotional well-being, and we do our best in all of these three elements. So now focusing on the number 2 element here, emotional and mental well-being. We know that according to the World Health Organization, there is no health without mental health. Kasi nga kasama siya doon, di ba? In that triangle, it's a very important component of health and wellness. What is mental health? 4 po ang elements when we say mental health. Number 1, we know what our capabilities are. We know what our talents are, our capacity, kung anong kaya natin gawin. We know that. Number 2, we are able to cope with the stressors of life. Number 3, kaya natin to work productively and fruitfully. We are able to do our tasks, di ba, at the end of the day. And number 4 is we are able to make a contribution to our community. Please take note that in this definition of mental health, there is a very important word, and that word is stress. All right? So, wag matakot if we mention the word stress, di ba? So, wag po, no? Let us not fear this word about stress, because definitely in the definition of mental health, it is there. What's important is that we know how to handle or how to cope with all of the stressors that we face on a day-to-day basis. So, what is the definition of stress? Ano nga ba? When we say stress, ano nga ba ang definition niya? What does it mean, di ba? So, do you know that up to this present moment today, there are several definitions of stress, and the exact definition, in fact, is still being debated. O, di ba? So, hindi pa rin talaga sure, no? Kung there are different opinions about the true or exact definition of stress. Let us look at the older, ang mas una na definition of stress, which is the more neutral or positive definition, as mentioned or as stipulated by Hans Selye, the founder of stress research in 1965. For him, it says that stress depends on whether we see or perceive a situation as positive or negative. So, depende sa ating pananaw, pananaw natin. Kung ang isang sitwasyon, ang tingin natin, ang perception natin is positive, ang effect sa atin, then it's a positive source of stress. Kung negative naman, and there is humiliation, be it due to failure, infection, then it can be a negative form of stress. So for Hans Selye, meron siyang positive na connotation. The current, so nag-evolve siya over time, the current definition leans more towards the negative na connotation, which means that nawawala ang balance. There is that imbalance between the demands on us versus our ability to cope with the stressor. So parang mas dumadami ang demands, no? Ang bigat. Pag minsan, di ba, we feel that ang bigat ng demands sa atin, but konti lang, no? Ang ating help, ang ating support, the coping skills are limited. And that's why pag na-overweigh ng demands, we feel stressed about it and we lose control over events. So, have you felt this way before? Para bang na banat ba tayo, no? From all angles, from all aspects of life, be it family problems, financial crisis, health problems sa ating mga anak, sa school, etc. Parang we are pushed Di ba? We are pulled to our limits. No? Na, konti na lang talaga, no? Na parang bibitaw na tayo. Alright, so that is in fact how they describe stress. No? It's parang the wear and tear of life as we move through life, di ba? So, kasi nga, when we mature, mas padami ng padami na ang sources of stress natin. But again, remember that stress, as mentioned by Hans Selye, di ba? There are events in our life now which we consider as positive. Now we view it as positive, so positive form of stress siya. And there can also be that situations na which we feel, our perception of that would be negative stress. Ano sa tingin ninyo ang positive stress? Ano ang activities or events na which can produce stress, or happy events na which can produce stress? What do you think? O, di ba? For example, are you familiar with this? For example, if you have a deadline, sabi ni boss nyo, you need to submit this tomorrow kaagad. It can make you feel stressed, but it's a positive form of stress kasi it will push you. It will motivate you to do your best para you submit a very good report, di ba? For some naman, getting married. It's a happy event, di ba? Getting married, preparations for venue, etc. Pero nakaka-stress din yun, di ba? Kasi all the preparations that you need to do, etc. New job or being promoted can also be stressful. Happy siya kasi you will be promoted, but with great responsibility comes great, ano ngayon? With great power pala. With great power, so mas mataas ang promotion position, comes great responsibility. So that can also be stressful. Like also preparation for a sports event. So we need to prepare for that. It can be stressful every day na training and practice, but happy pa rin kasi it would push you to perform your best. Negative stress naman would include several, like pollution, for example. We can be stressed about traffic. So these would include yung sa mga environmental factors, traffic, pollution, family-related stressors, workplace, di ba? So sometimes there can be conflicts sa trabaho and physical stressors, especially about our health and support system. So those can be a source of negative stress. So meaning there can be a lot which may contribute to stress. Marami siya. Following the biopsychosocial perspective, biologically, studies found out that there is a stress gene. It can be genetic na napapasa siya, na they were able to identify a stress gene. So kung merong stress sa family, madaling ma-stress among our family members, chances are we may also develop that. Physical health also, so problems with our physical fitness and state of health. Character traits natin, our character can also be a factor. For example, yung iba, very very go, mga go-getters, high-strung. Yung iba naman medyo pessimistic or negative thinkers, so they are more prone to stress. And of course, the presence or absence of support system. So let's look at a review, a study which this is a more recent study which showed the top 3 causes of stress natin. This was published in 2019. Let's take a look, Ano kaya sa tingin ninyo ang top 3 sources of stress natin? Tadang! All right. So top 3 would include physical health, which means sleep problem. Do you agree with this? Sometimes, pag hirap tayong matulog, then naku, hindi pa ako nakakatulog. So it will make you feel stressed. And the more na you think about it, mas lalo kang hindi nakakatulog. So it becomes a vicious cycle. So that's the top, in fact, 65%. 54%, it comes in close, very close to the first. So second siya, family problems, conflicts in the family can also cause significant source of, it's also a significant source of stress. And health issues. Lalo na kung if we are going through some mga chronic medical problems, it can also increase na our stress levels. So, focus tayo sa 65%, which is about sleep problem. And just to share lang, no, usually for those who consult with me, those under my care, ang initial talaga nila na symptom or complaint, and that's why they needed to talk to someone, it was really sleep, na about sleeping patterns, hindi nakatulog, hirap matulog, tulog na paputol-putol, and when they wake up, it's really not a restful sleep. Do you know that when we are sleep deprived, kung kulang tayo sa tulog, it can affect our mood. Pwede tayong bugnutin, irritable, o di ba? Have you experienced that? Pag kulang sa tulog, sobra na, and we cannot focus. Parang masama na ang start ng araw natin, irritable tayo towards our family members, kasama natin sa trabaho. Memory is also affected, and overall health and well-being is also affected, as shown by this next slide. O, di ba? Sleep deprived sa left side versus a person who has or is able to get a normal sleeping time. Na? So, anong napapansin po ninyo? When we lack sleep, talagang meron siyang physical na manifestations. Like we get eye bags, circles around our eyes. Ang eyes natin medyo papungay, mapula, di ba? Sometimes they mistake it as parang may sore eyes ba? Or parang, and we get wrinkles, etc. And overall health is affected, like our cognitive processes. Bagsak ang memory, we are not able to plan ahead, our mood is affected, immune system function is affected, and ayaw natin yan, di ba, during this time of pandemic, because during this time of pandemic, we want to be at our best, di ba, peak levels, strong immune system. We need that to fight the virus. So when we lack sleep, our immune system function is affected. And others, it increases the risk for heart problems, diabetes, and we get yung sa mga bata, di ba, pag kulang sila sa tulog, it suppresses their growth, di ba? Ano yung bilin sa atin when we were still young? Ano ang bilin sa atin ng mga magulang natin? Matulog sa hapon, matulog ng maaga sa gabi, because that is the time when there is the secretion of growth hormones, which would make us grow taller. All right. And others. So talagang there are a lot of effects when we are sleep deprived. And it's no wonder na that came out as the top source of stress. So, when we feel stressed, ano ang nangyayari sa ating mga katawan? Do you know na it is backed by scientific data? So when we feel stressed, pag tayo parang, we feel tense, we feel anxious, we feel scared, parang takot-takot tayo mag-recitation sa school, or we were not able to finish the report for our boss, etc. What happens when there is that threat, perceived threat? What happens is, look at this in the middle, yung naka-circle ng red, there is a release of stress hormones. And these stress hormone we call as cortisol. Cortisol, epinephrine, and norepinephrine. And when we are under stress, tumataas ang cortisol levels. And what happens is that our heart rate increases, our respiratory rate increases as well, our blood pressure shoot up, tumataas. So lahat it really gets affected, pati na ang ating immune system, which is suppressed. Again, when cortisol or stress hormones are released when we are stressed, ang ating immune system ay bumabagsak, nasusuppress. And definitely, we do not want that now during this pandemic, kasi kailangan talaga tayong malakas ang ating immune system. But, wag mawala ng pag-asa, because pwede namang bumaba ulit yung cortisol. It can go down once we are able to come up and do some of the coping strategies that we will be talking about later on. So just a reminder, some amount diba? From the definition kanina, there will always be sources of stress, and some amount of stress is good, positive stress, kasi it pushes us, it motivates us to do our best, diba? But remember, pag chronic, pag sobrang tagal naman ng stress natin, no, and we are not able to address it, may tendency po, there is that harm, na baka it may lead to us feeling exhausted, mapapagod tayo. Syempre, tao lang tayo. Pag sobrang tagal ng stress, we will lose energy, we will lose our motivation, pwede tayong mag-breakdown, burnout, pwede tayong magka-anxiety. And definitely, for those of us here who are employed or students, pag sobrang prolonged ang stress, it can definitely affect one's productivity, functionality in work, in school, or even it can affect our relationships with our family members or friends. Kasi bugnutin tayo, irritable tayo. And thus, remember this graph, ha? A bit of stress is good kasi it will push us, but it has a limit. Make sure na you're aware na wag nang pasobrahan, wag nang patagalin. Kasi kung papatagalin pa natin yon, babagsak na ang ating functionality and productivity, and it may cause some conflicts within the homes or in our workplaces. Thus, bago pa itong pandemic, pre-pandemic, wala pang pandemic, let us recognize and acknowledge that stress is a normal part of life, all right? Andyan siya. Nandyan yung mga stressful situations, be it positive stress, negative stress, and all of us, tayong lahat, walang pili-pili. All of us may face stress on a regular basis. Pwedeng araw-araw, no? Meron tayong mga stressful situations na ma-encounter pre-pandemic. Now, let's move on. Pre-pandemic to. So, wala pang pandemic, may stress na, di ba? How about now? Now, we are in the middle of a pandemic. O, di ba? Currently, ano na tayo ngayon? No? We are in the sixth or seventh month of this pandemic. And definitely, this pandemic po, pantay-pantay lahat tayo. It affects all of us, everyone. It doesn't discriminate between gender, socioeconomic status, age, lahat tayo, we can be affected by this, and a lot of uncertainties now, no? Uncertainties meaning, hindi natin alam kailan ito matatapos. The vaccine is still not here. We are not even sure kung kailan ba tayo matatapos with the online classroom, work from home, and a lot of changes now, like we need to wear our face masks, face shields when we go out. And because of all of these uncertainties and changes now, do you know that studies have shown that during this pandemic, there is a risk for having symptoms of anxiety, pangamba, takot, na, pag-worry. Number 2, depression, maapektuhan ng ating mood, malulungkot tayo kasi lonely, lalo na sa mga naka-quarantine. Distress, meaning stress, but at an extreme level, and trauma. I'm sure, no, may mga iba sa atin na trauma na, lalo na if we hear of a family member, of a close friend who may have been affected or infected by COVID. And therefore, it may trigger some mental health issues. Lalo na ngayon, grabe, no? The effects kasi now, puro takot tayo, no? There is that mind switch now from living to survival mode, di ba? Survival mode on tayo ngayon. And that's why we need to wear proper protective gear, wash hands always, carry alcohol. There is that fear na baka tayo walang symptom, but we may bring the virus to our homes pag uuwi tayo. There is that feeling of powerlessness. Wala tayong power, no? We cannot control this. It's beyond us already. So there is that feeling of hopelessness, increase in anxiety. We've heard of stories of companies downsizing, retrenchment, nagsasarado po, and mataas po ang unemployment rates natin ngayon. So also that can add to the stress. And of course, loneliness, which can happen, lalo na pag tayo po ay mag-isa sa ating bahay, no? Lalo na sa ating mga kasama, no, na mag-isa sa bahay, or matagal na when we last saw our parents, our family members, because we are in forced quarantine. And that's why really this is important that we talk about mental health and some coping strategies to address all of these mental health issues. Now we are transitioning to the new normal. We are slowly going back to do our essential tasks like buying medicines and groceries, but on a limited pa rin, na capacity. But still, there is still that stress, all right? That fear of still catching the virus, because we know that the virus is still there. Habang wala pang bakuna, habang wala pang gamot, proven to cure it, nandyan pa rin ang ating takot na we may get it once we step out from our homes. And other problems would include transportation issues. We know now, kulang-kulang talaga no, ang transpo services now because of the physical distancing, and of course, bawal pa yung ibang modes of transpo. And having to go outside feels like it's a necessity, and it comes with a sense of risk of getting the virus. So nawala na ngayon yung party-party mode when we go out, di ba? Bawal nang manood ng sine, bawal nang magkape-kape with your colleagues, with your friends, coffee shops, bawal na munang mag-window shopping, bawal lahat yon. So what this really means is that kung coping skills natin ito before, if before they were very helpful, like watching a movie, going out, eating out, dining out, kain tayo sa McDo, Jollibee, now we cannot do that. So those coping strategies which were helpful before are something that we cannot do anymore given this current situation natin. And those may add to our stress. Diba? So, pre-pandemic, may stress na. Habang pandemic, stress pa rin. Kahit nagta-transition niya to the new normal, there is still stress, lalo na sa ating mga bata, no? Ating mga students now who are also transitioning to the online classroom, no? Online mode of learning. And in fact, I was interviewed about this recently for Rated Corina. They asked about the effects of online schooling during this pandemic. So I will not elaborate na. You can watch this sa ano na lang, sa YouTube, it's there. But again, this is to emphasize na all of us are affected. No one is spared. So lahat tayo dapat, we are all in this together. Magtulungan tayo lahat, na? Especially ngayon, lahat tayo nasa bahay. Ito po, I would like to share, ito po yung bahay namin. So kahapon po ito, imagine, yung 3 kong anak, they were doing online classes. Ako naman, I had a meeting with the hospital, sa aming hospital staff, no? And my husband also was in another meeting. So ganito na ang itsura ng ating life ngayon. This is the new normal. And, di ba, that's me. As a psychiatrist, I was also called to do emergency room duties as the emergency room doctor, like my husband. My husband po kasi is an ER doctor talaga. But ako, as a psychiatrist, parang nabigla na ako noon. But definitely duty calls during this time, and we really have to do this to help more people, to be there, to serve more people in need. So, because of this, this transition to the new normal, nag-iba talaga ngayon ang landscape. We may feel all of the symptoms. Tingnan niyo po, kasi I think ito yung pinresent kanina na tests, yung parang survey during the first part. Marami ba tayo sa atin ang nagkaka-aches and pains? It's a sign of stress. Yung today we have headache, tomorrow stomach pains, the next day knee pain, the next day back pain. Parang marami tayong nararamdaman na nasakit-sakit ng katawan. Alright? Or feeling na parang mabilis ang tibok ng puso, or hirap tayo to breathe, trembling, difficulty in sleeping patterns, changes in sleeping patterns, changes in eating patterns, and there are all these worries and fears in our head. So these are all symptoms of stress, as based na rin doon sa, lumabas to kanina doon sa inyong in-answeran na survey. And what's really important po, and I'm happy now we are talking about this now, to raise awareness that mental health concerns can be the fourth wave. After all of this, in the aftermath of this pandemic now of COVID-19, kahit na may bakuna na sa COVID, kahit may gamot na, still the mental health issues may persist, and we anticipate it as the fourth wave. The next pandemic will be on mental health due to burnout, lalo na sa ating mga frontliners, mga police, mga driver, mga nagsaserve sa hospital na mga aides, nurses, etc. Burnout, economic injury due to lack or losses ng jobs and employment opportunity, trauma, lalo na kung may mga friends tayo or family members who succumbed to the pandemic, to the virus, and others. So we are anticipating, and that's why I'm really happy that you're all able to join me and join us this afternoon. Para it's a way really of raising awareness na there is something we can do para maagapan po or ma-address if ever we feel stressed about everything that's happening now. So, the question actually now, with this transition to the new normal, do we resist it? Do we, ayokong gawin yan, ayokong mag-mask, ayokong mag-face shield. Do we resist the new normal, or can we use it as an opportunity na? So, I hope na we can use this pandemic now as an opportunity for growth. Meaning it's a way for us to mature, to grow, and learn our strengths. Alam ko, lahat tayo, we have our strengths. What's important is we identify those strengths and enhance those, all right? For us to be able to maintain a positive mindset during this pandemic, as well as adapting to the new normal. So tips for all of us, for you and me, di ba? Again, remember the triangle kanina. It's really important to find the balance between those three sides of the triangle. Mental health, psychosocial health should be given equal importance. In the same way, we give importance to our physical health and well-being para walang imbalance, para buong triangle yun, same side sila. Again, health by definition is the complete state of physical, mental, and social well-being. And do you know that when we take good care of ourselves, then we are able to take better care of our children, of our family, of our friends, our colleagues sa trabaho. Mas marami tayong natutulungan. Remember, now we cannot give what we do not have, di ba? So kung tayo po ay hindi at our best, mahirap, Hirap din tayo to be able to help others. So please remember this, and what are some of the tips? All right? Number 1, it starts with you. All right? Talagang walang iba, kundi sa'yo, sa atin. Love yourself. Please, this is the time now. If you feel na you are stressed, kung ano man ang result from your stress survey kanina at the start of the activity, let's acknowledge that. All right? Acknowledge it. Kung if we feel na we are stressed, kung tayo ay nalulungkot, we are anxious, frightened, let's acknowledge it, let's accept it, and do not feel guilty. Kahit na ang score mo kanina is medyo, tingin mo, stress na stress ka talaga, it's okay. Do not feel guilty about it. What's important is we accept it para we are able to handle it and learn some coping strategies or coping techniques. It doesn't mean na pag tayo ay sobrang stress or mababa ang score natin kanina, it's a sign of a weakness of our character. No po, no. Walang kinalaman yung score kanina. It's not a reflection of a sign of weakness of one's character. Therefore, during this time, definitely it's okay not to feel okay. If you want to cry, please cry. Kung kailangan yung matulog buong araw, please do so. If you feel that can help in regaining your strength and helping you, diba, in your healing and recovery. Number 2, this may sound very basic, but again, remember, if we take care of our physical health and well-being, then mas gumaganda ang ating mental state and emotional state. So these are all physical activities. Eating well, getting enough rest and exercise, and sleep. All right? And please remember that the top 10 stress management techniques, which are really very important. And sana ito po ay maalala ninyo, kahit ito lang ang maalala ninyo when you go home or when you go back to your activities after this talk. Please remember this top 10 stress management techniques. All right? Eat, sleep, eat, sleep, eat, sleep, eat, sleep, etc. All right? So I hope maalala nyo po yun. Top 10 stress management techniques. It's really important. If you can take naps in the middle of your work or during a school day, work day, kung kaya po ninyo to take naps, please, kahit 30 minutes to 1 hour, take a look at this. Ano ang mga benefits of napping? It can boost energy. It can help with our memory, short-term memory, and creativity improve, especially doon sa mga dapat work nila entails creativity. Napping is very important. I heard kanina na sa ating audience, usually mga students or young adults, then this is for you. Kasi you are at that point ngayon, na you have to be creative sa inyong mga school work, trabaho, with boost of energy and good cognitive skills. Exercise also is very important because it will boost the level of happy hormones. All right? We call it endorphins. Pangontra siya sa cortisol, which is the stress hormone mentioned earlier. A bit of physical activity is good. If hindi kaya to go to the gym, in your homes, be creative. Pwedeng dance, galaw-galaw, TikTok, all right? So, pwedeng mag-stretching, yoga in your homes. Please do that to boost the happy hormones and improve blood circulation, especially blood circulation to the brain, para mas oxygenated ang ating brain cells, and it will keep us alert, alive, enthusiastic. All right, number 3, avoid using unhealthy or unhelpful coping strategies like smoking. O, diba, smoking, please, let's avoid it, lalo na nga kung COVID, diba? Lungs ang affected, one of the organs affected. So it may impair our lung functioning if we smoke. Alcohol, in fact, alcohol in our brain is a natural depressant. Depressant siya. So nakakabagsak ng mood. So using all of these substances in the long term can worsen our mental and physical well-being. Please do not depend on stimulants. Sa mga students in the group or yung mga nagtatrabaho na kailangan gising sila sa gabi, so for them to be able to study, do their reports, etc., please do not depend on stimulants to keep you awake. Definitely po, I've seen cases sa emergency room na kahit konting inom lang ng stimulants or mga drinks, energy drinks, they can have an effect on our cardiac or heart state, cardiac state. All right, so please do not use, avoid it, please. Number 4, a strategy is maintain social connectedness. This is the time to maintain physical distancing. Physical, meaning magkalayo tayo sa ating mga kasama sa trabaho or sa opisina. Huwag magsabay-sabay sa pagkain, di ba? But maintain social connectedness. Maintain connections through text, sending Viber messages, group chats, group text, video calls, especially sa mga friends natin na malayo or it's been a while since we last saw them, family members. If you can, Like ito, example kasi ito ng anak ko, no? They do things together, activities together, para pa rin, no? Na they do something. They come together as a group and then they watch movies together, like kagabi, they watch something. So sabay-sabay silang nanonood and kwentuhan, catching up pa rin digitally or virtually. And for some naman, if you have the resources na which you can share, di ba? Kasi when you do good, you feel good as well. So you can send care packages, meaning packages like you can send food. Kung nagbe-baking kayo, kung nagluluto, then you can have your product be sent sa mga kaibigan ninyo. Or gifts. This is personal lang, but kami, when we go on duty sa hospital, we get care packages, lalo na pagkain from our friends, from our pharma friends. They send us meals kasi nga they know na sometimes talaga walang tigil ang aming work. We are on our feet the whole day. So they send us mga care packages in the form of food or yung mga hand sanitizers and protective stuff to keep us protected, which means this is important for us to maintain that good and friendly culture in our offices, in our homes, among friends. Diba mas maganda na yon, diba? Now we are all friendly. There is peace and harmony everywhere. No? Walang away, walang conflict kasi definitely this is a very extraordinary situation now globally. Related to self-love is self-care activities. Do the things that make you feel good and happy. Now is the time to rediscover your talents. Kung dati nakalimutan na natin mag-baking, cooking, na talent pala natin yon, please do that now, all right? Do the things that which make you feel good, like playing with your kids. Now that they're more at home because of online classes, play with them, bond with them, watch TV together or sing together, play puzzles together. Yung iba naman, ang stress outlet nila would be painting. O, di ba? They paint, they draw, or they make puzzles and then they put this on sa walls nila. No? They frame this and put it on their walls. Do you know, I'm sure that you've heard of this already, there is a new, craze ba tawag doon, or a new hobby na very popular, and I was interviewed 2 times about this. It's about plantito, plantitas. So, di ba? Sino sa atin dito ang nagpa-plantito, plantita na, no? May mga alagang halaman. Yes, no? So, in my recent TV guestings, I was asked about the effects on our mental health of taking care of plants. And definitely, meron. They have good, positive effects on our mental health kasi it gives purpose and meaning to our lives. Masaya tayo if we see our plants growing beautiful flowers, colorful flowers, di ba? And then it also makes us feel creative kasi sa ating mga arrangement ng ating mga plants. And ang talaga doon, it gives meaning because we are taking care of a living organism which depends on us for nutrition and for their survival. Kaya maganda ang effect of raising pets and plants because of the meaning and the sense of meaning and purpose to our lives. Next, ito very important. Set time for news and social media. Do you know na sobrang, if we are too focused, if we always check our Facebook app, Instagram, Twitter, news, etc., it can be very overwhelming and there can be a lot of fake news. So please limit the time spent on social media and listening to the news. If you can, just limit it to once in the morning, once at night, and then that's it. Para it will not affect our productivity sa ating mga trabaho or school works. And it's important to think before you click, kasi we do not want naman na tayo ang bearer of fake news. O, di ba? We do not want that, all right? So please do not share anything if it's unverified or if it does not come from a reliable source, all right? Number 7, keep calm. This is very important, na? When we feel kasi too emotional, when our emotions are heightened, it can affect our interactions with our family members, lalo na kung lagi tayong magkasama sa bahay, di ba? It can create conflict when we go through those heightened states of emotions. It's important to maintain that calm and peaceful environment always. Remember that when we are emotional, di ba? Pag mas mataas ang feelings natin versus our logical, rational brain, what happens is that we may say things, do things out of our emotions, and later on, siguro pag kalmado na tayo, we may regret, di ba? Having said all of those things, having done those things. Now, similar dun sa mga nakikita natin in the news, sometimes road rage can happen because of heightened emotions and clouded ang judgment during those times. So it's really important when you feel emotional, pag tayo ay frustrated, pag tayo ay galit, kalma na muna. Retreat. Kalma na muna. Take deep breaths, and after that, you will really feel more calm and more relaxed, and mas babalik na yung ating rational function of our brain. Next, make sure, let's remember, as mentioned kanina, during this time of pandemic, we have no control over a lot of events, di ba? We have no control over the situation. Wala tayong control kung kailan matatapos ang quarantine, GCQ, MECQ, MGCQ. We have no control over that. We have no control kung kailan babalik ang mga students sa classrooms, kung January ba, babalik na ba sila sa physical classroom, etc. Those are things that we have no control over, but please focus on the things which are under your control para it won't feel too overwhelming and you do not feel powerless about the situation now. So question, what are the things that are within your control? Di ba? Let's reflect on that. Ano ba yung mga things na, oo nga, I can control this. For example, setting that structure to your day, all right? Having that sense of normalcy. Ibalik ang structure, that routine every day by having a daily plan. Kasi siguro temporarily, nung nag-lockdown tayo bigla, during the ECQ, biglang, nagigising na tayo mga 12 noon, di ba? Kasi nga, nag-change, nagbago ang ating sleeping pattern, eating pattern, etc. So now is the time to regain that sense of normalcy, to regain that sense of structure to our daily lives. And we have control over that. Gawa kayo, Gawa tayo ng mga to-do lists. What are the things that we need to do during the day? Tick off kung ano ba yung mga natapos natin. There is no small or big tasks. Kahit small tasks, if we are able to tick that out, to erase it kasi nagawa na natin, then at the end of the day, let's celebrate, di ba? Let's celebrate our small victories, all right? Kasi let's take it muna ngayon on a day-to-day basis. Kasi nga, it's really uncertain pa, kung what will happen tomorrow or the next few weeks, the next few months. Another thing, which is under our control is what? Prioritizing, self-preservation. I really love this. Diba? Let yourself off the hook. Meaning, self-preservation. Learn to say no. If you feel na sobrang daming tasks given to you, by your teachers, by your boss, by your colleagues, by family members, and talaga it can get overwhelming, lalo na ngayon na marami pa tayong mga transpo issues, scare about viruses in the air, etc. Then you can say no. choose no, the things that you need to do, prioritize it, and if you feel naman na pwede namang wag mo nang gawin to, or pwede naman i-postpone mo na to, or pwede naman na i-delegate itong task na to, then please do that. Please do that. This is really for self-preservation. Personally, share ko lang ha, kasi I want to share din. Ako, sometimes, we are given a lot of mga Zoom meetings, no? Zoom meeting 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock for ganon. For self-preservation, syempre, no? So I try to reflect, baka pwede itong pang 4 o'clock. I will listen na lang to the recording of this. So, di ba? Para at least I can rest my eyes to avoid digital eye strain, o para ma-rest naman ang aking mata. Mga ganon, no? So, self-preservation is key, all right? Learn to say no if really you feel na pwede naman to delegate or to cancel or postpone, or siguro just ask for approval to postpone the activity, etc. For students here in the group, para maiwasan ma-stress dahil sa workload natin ngayon, especially online, na nag-a-adapt lahat, nag-a-adjust lahat, pati teachers, parents, learn not to procrastinate. Learn not to I think this is easier said than done, no? But kung kaya, again, with that to-do lists, as mentioned kanina, to regain that sense of structure to your daily day, kahit pa konti-konti, do some tasks para it will not pile or add up, and then baka lang by tomorrow submission na ganito na pala kadami, no? Kailangan yung sagutin na modules. OMG. All right? So please try not to procrastinate. Again, even a small amount of work done, that is something to be celebrated for at the end of the day. All right? Next, and this is very important, gratitude. Practice gratitude by counting your top 5 blessings for the day. Kung more than top 5, the better. Diba? So really, when we are grateful, when we practice this, it anchors us, it grounds us, it gives us meaning na kahit ang world ngayon is uncertain, it's challenging, it's extraordinary now, it's difficult, still there is something we are grateful for. Personally, again, I would like to share, every day I wake up and the first thing I'm grateful for is the abundance of oxygen, which is free. Diba? And you can inhale it anytime. Siguro this is something na I took for granted in the past. Hindi ko napansin noon, ay, valuable pala masyado yung oxygen. Kasi we've heard, diba, from those infected with COVID, hirap sila. No? It takes a lot of energy and effort to inhale oxygen through a ventilator. Diba? So really ako, this is something talaga na I learned to be grateful for during this pandemic, the abundance of energy. It's free for all, and anytime, anywhere, we can partake of that blessing. Another thing I'm grateful for, of course, is more time spent with my family. Kasi nga magkakasama na kami ngayon lahat, no? Before, when I wake up to go to school, to go to the hospital, tulog pa sila. Pag uwi ko from hospital, tulog na sila. O, di ba? So ngayon, pag alis ko, pagbalik ko, gising sila kasi they're all still doing their online schooling. So really, so if you can reflect on this, reflect on the graces, the blessings, and the things that you are grateful for, and it will really help you to feel good and lessen the stress levels natin. For those of us who are still blessed with our jobs, given the current crisis, economic crisis, let's be grateful of our jobs, diba? Kahit na kung anong nangyari, we still have our job. And for those naman na who were affected by the siguro closures, downsizing of companies, etc. Do not lose hope. Do not lose hope. This is the time now to be proactive, di ba? Yung creativity side natin. Na you can use this time ngayon to galingan, no? Improve natin ang ating mga CV, di ba? Ang ating mga CV. Ano nga yung CV? Curriculum vitae, di ba? Improve natin ang ating curriculum vitae. Or you can call your friends para to expand your networking, ano, di ba? Yung group ninyo, networking, para baka may mga referrals, di ba? So, do not lose hope. There are so many things that we can do during this time. And again, this is temporary lang naman. And definitely, after this, I'm sure na ano din, no? we will grow and learn about ourselves from this crisis. Next, number 10. Laughter is still the best medicine, all right? Libre ang tumawa, walang bayad. Mas maganda po kung tumawa tayo na galing sa bituka. Alright? Huwag pigilan. No? Ha, ha, ha. Huwag pigilan ang tawa. Alright? Studies have shown, again, this will boost the level of endorphins, the happy hormone. Endorphins kasi are known to decrease pain. No? Kung may mga sakit-sakit tayo sa katawan, masakit ulo, masakit batok, masakit ang shoulder, laugh about it kasi it can boost the level of endorphins and will lessen the pain. It can promote muscle relaxation, o diba? Lalo na sa mga ladies in the audience, less wrinkles, diba? And it can reduce anxiety. Laughing feels good. Grabe, no? So, especially kami, ako kasi I'm from Iligan City originally, Bisaya gyud, ha? Kung kinsay mga taga Mindanao diri, I am 100% Bisaya. Grabe ang tawa namo, no? Ang mga Bisaya, really from the bituka. Masin, yun. Walay pigil-pigil. Oh, di ba? So I hope we can do that, practice that. It can really boost our mood. Number 11, let's maintain a hopeful outlook. I know that this is difficult during this time, no? Kasi nga we are really stressed about a lot of things now. But do you know that an optimistic, di ba? Positive thoughts lang. Optimistic outlook is very empowering. Remember na our country is always beset by typhoon, calamities, landslides, Taal volcano eruption, baha, ondoy, etc. But if you recall, there is always an end to it. Na? It's always temporary, it passes, natatapos din siya, and we are able naman, no, to, ang sabi nga, no, the sun rises again, and there is always that rainbow after every calamity. So let's maintain a hopeful outlook and remain optimistic, diba? Kasi as mentioned kayo na, if you remember, character kasi, no, can also affect our stress level. Yung mga pessimistic, mga negative thinkers, usually are the more at risk or more prone to stress versus those who are more optimistic in life, diba? And related to this is embrace healthy, happy thoughts. Healthy. For example, please in your head, if puro negative thoughts, make it a conscious effort to turn off. All right? Parang switch sa light. Turn off negative thoughts, turn on positive thoughts. All right? For example, concrete example, sometimes when students are given a task na they feel it's too challenging, too complicated for them, what is the initial reaction ng mga students? Ma'am, teacher, I cannot do this. Oh, do you find yourself na yun kaagad ang immediate reaction nyo? Ay, boss, hindi ko to kaya, boss. Grabe naman. But try to shift your thinking. All right? It takes ano talaga practice to shift your thinking. Remove the T from I can't to I can do this. All right? Sige. I welcome these challenges, these mga assignments given to you, responsibilities. I will do this. I can, and you may follow it through with I can and I will do my best. Para ang sabi nga ni Yoda, di ba? From a quotation as mentioned by Yoda, do it, just do it, or do not. Dalawa lang ang options ni Yoda. Do or do not. There is no try. Do not say, ay, sige boss, I will try to do it. Ay, wag yun. Kasi that will, no? Parang it tells us na defeated na tayo, no? There is a defeatist attitude already, na? So, it's either you do or do not, but kung ako, do it. Do it, and I will give it my best. All right? Number 13 is practice mindfulness. Mindfulness is really focusing on the here and now. Meaning, I'm sure all of us, we've made our mistakes in the past. Meron na tayong mga failures in the past. But yeah, tapos na yun. Don't go back to those. I'm sure we've learned our lessons from the past. And ito naman ang time not to look forward into the future. Wag naman yung sobrang planning, no? Na ay sa January babakasyon ako sa Iligan, no? Or sa February magli-leave ako, etc. Wag mo nang ganon, no? Please avoid that. Let's focus na muna on the here and now because again, it's to avoid that feeling of frustration and being overwhelmed. Kasi if you make some plans ahead for the future, and if di pa rin pwede because of the virus, the pandemic now, it may leave us feeling frustrated, angry, sad, etc. So again, focus on the here and now. Do your best in the tasks mo every day. Celebrate victories at the end of the day. All right? Take care of your spiritual needs. Spiritual needs, in fact, it's more than religion. It's not about religion. It's more than that. It's really about looking at the purpose and meaning of life, of your life. No? Like if you can reflect, ano kaya ang purpose ko? No? And what is the meaning of this pandemic now, this new normal now, this transition now to online classes, on work from home, etc. What is the meaning of this? No? But it will ground us it will anchor us, no? So that we don't feel overwhelmed or hopeless. Yung iba, they say the meaning of this for them is that it gave them the chance to reconnect, to bond with their family members. Na siguro, nung time na busy tayo lahat, hindi tayo nagkakakitaan sa bahay, we took each other for granted maybe. So now is the time to bond and reconnect with our family members, strengthen our faith, or maybe it's also the chance for our Mother Earth, our home, di ba? To heal. Kasi during the time na walang pollution, the skylines were clearer, no pollution, walang mga usok, Manila Bay had clear water. So really, it gave the time for Mother Earth to heal. For the teachers here, for the librarians who are present this afternoon, baka lang na with what's happening now, which we find stressful, baka nawawala na tayo ng gana, motivation to do our role as teachers. Gusto na natin mag-resign kasi we are having difficulty with the online classroom. Please do not decide on anything, on any life-changing decision. Please reconnect with your motivation. Balikan po natin ang ating reasons noon kung bakit tayo naging guro, kung bakit tayo naging librarian, para hindi tayo mawala. We won't feel lost. And we will again feel, no? Ano ba yung reason natin for going into this profession. And lastly, there are breathing exercises, stress reduction exercises na you can do. And applications are available for this to guide you. Ako, personally, I use deep breathing exercises. Yung slow inhale, pause, slow exhale, repeat it 10 times. It will definitely help in bringing down the level of cortisol, the stress hormone. Diba? Pag babagsak ang cortisol, babagsak ang heart rate, babagsak ang respiratory rate, babagsak ang ating blood pressure, and overall effect is we feel relaxed and calm. Okay, so in summary, for the first part, ito na yun. It is summarized this way. All right? Keep calm, stay positive, breathe, inhale, exhale, meditate. Laughter is still the best medicine. Relax, unplug, meaning limit social media use, and enjoy life. Plantitos, plantitas, continue to have fun with your plants. All right. Now, as we move on to the new normal, these are some of the reminders. Please accept that change is a part of life. It's really important that we learn to accept that this is happening now. In fact, in life, there is nothing as constant as change. As mentioned in the song by Jose Marie Chan. Oh, di ba? Nag-promote pa ako kay Jose Marie Chan, di ba? Siya yung very famous for Christmas carols, but he also has a song about this, no? Constant change. In life, there is nothing as constant as change, and let us accept that this change, no? Accept that this pandemic and this physical isolation are here for a while, and that's why it's really important to maintain social connectedness through virtual methods, di ba? Do things together virtually. Sa ating mga guro po, present now, mga librarians, students, na medyo kulang po tayo no, sa confidence in this new online classes, please learn to embrace technology. That is the secret. Embrace technology. Again, makakatulong if you have a tech buddy system, di ba? Kung may teacher na medyo difficult pa, may difficulty navigating through this digital platforms, please get someone to help you. Or there are sites na specifically na to give mga guidelines or guides for parents, kung may parents po present now, parents, students, and teachers to help with technology. Personally, my tech buddy is my son. Oh, di ba? Siya lagi yan. Siya lagi nagtuturo sa akin. How to open Zoom, how to open mga ganito. Like now, siya ang nag-connect for me. So really, please find your own tech buddy to help you. Kasi nga, no one is alone. Ha? You don't have to go through this on your own. Maintain health precautions po para maiwasan natin ma-stress kung kailangan natin lumabas to buy our medications and food essentials. Para wag matakot, maintain that physical distancing of 6 feet. Wear your masks properly. Virtual gatherings muna for now because bawal pa ang more than 10, di ba? Mass gatherings, and stay at home as much as possible. After self-love and self-care, please extend that love and care to others, especially those who are in need. Okay, so this is the time now to show compassion and understanding to everyone. Kasi I know na we are all going through a difficult time now, and we are all in this together. Na? So, especially sa online schooling, online classrooms, sa mga parents po natin, please, nag-a-adjust tayo lahat, no? Students, teachers, so wag magalit ha sa mga teachers po natin kasi lahat tayo, we are really adjusting to this. So let's work together, work hand in hand because we are all in this together. Let's help one another. And if you feel na you have colleagues, family members who need help because talagang they're going through a rough time, reach out. Reach out. If you have the capacity naman po to help anyone, reach out. No? Maganda po yun na tayo mismo, we volunteer to be there, to listen to them, to help them. Again, social support and connectedness is very important. Let's fight the stigma po. Anyone can be affected by this virus. Anyone, di ba? It doesn't discriminate between gender, age, status in life. So if we have friends or family members or may kakilala tayo in our workplace who may have been infected by this virus, please do not discriminate. Let us avoid discriminating against them. Okay, so anyone can be affected again. And because it's Mental Health Day, let's stop the stigma then, all right? For those who are going through some mental health concerns or issues. Lastly po, this is a question I want to pose to everyone. When faced with stress, pag sobrang nasi-stress na tayo, no? Nabobombard na tayo by a lot of stress, do you bend or do you break? I'm referring to the term resilience, all right? Resilience means the ability to bounce back from difficult life experiences. All right? So pag bumabagsak tayo, maraming problema, resilience is that ability for us to bounce back, to adapt, to adjust, to recover. All right? So this is defined as the ability to recover from or adjust to any trials, any challenges, any misfortune, like a bamboo. Oh, nakita niyo ba tong bamboo? Ang bamboo kasi, they sway, di ba? They bend, but they never break. So I hope we remain to be that way in the face of a lot of stressors and challenges. All right? So all of us, hopefully, let's hold on to hope. Huh? Be hopeful and remain resilient. And remember that in everything, in all of these challenges, there is always that opportunity for growth, both personally and professionally. So it will help us to grow, to mature as we learn ourselves, as we get to know our coping skills, hopefully healthy and positive coping skills. For all of us who are going through rough times now, personally, kahit yung mga nagsumagot kanina na medyo marami silang stress and they feel na they're not able to handle the stress well during this time from the Paul kanina, this is for you. Remember that you can overcome anything po, and possibilities are endless. Marami pong possibilities, marami po tayong pwedeng ma-discover about ourselves na, wow, kaya ko palang gawin to, kaya ko palang magluto, at kaya ko palang mag-paint, kaya ko palang maging tutor para sa mga bata na nag-online class, then maybe I can offer myself as a tutor for them, etc. Marami pong possibilities, and definitely po, you are never alone. No one is alone. We are all essential. We are all in this together. Kaya lagi kong sinasabi po, walang iwanan. Alright? Walang iwanan. Sama-sama po tayo lagi. And remember that help is available always. Kung gusto niyo pong may makausap, marami po tayong resources for that, especially from the Department of Health in cooperation or in collaboration with the National Center for Mental Health. They have a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week helpline available for all who need counseling. And take-home points for my talk this afternoon. Please remember that stress, wag matakot. Sa word na stress, as mentioned in the first part of the talk, it's normal. All right? It's a normal part of life. A bit of stress, diba? Yung graph kanina, pataas. Konting stress is good. It helps us in our growth. Diba? Nakakatulong siya, kasi we become stronger. We grow professionally and personally from those stressful situations. During this time of pandemic, please do not feel guilty if you feel sad, anxious, lonely. Definitely, it's okay not to feel okay. It's not a sign of a weakness of one's character. It does not define you. Ikaw talaga to, weak ka, no? Hindi. No, it's not a sign of a weakness of one's character. In fact, all of your emotions, all of our emotions now are normal given the abnormal situation. It's the situation now which is abnormal. And lastly, we can always improve our ability to cope with stress, as mentioned kanina, di ba? 15 tips yon plus 5 tips in adjusting to this new normal. And definitely, those can help improve our ability to cope with stress. And remember that walang iwanan, we are all in this together. And I'm always here. Quezon City Public Library is always here. And again, maraming salamat, Quezon City Public Library, for giving us this chance for giving me a chance to help in raising mental health awareness during this World Mental Health Day. And last po, my last slide, personal po ito ha, personal. And I would like to share something about my song. No, about my song, hindi about my song. Syempre, no, I also go through some difficult moments, challenging times. Sometimes gusto ko nang umiyak, gusto ko nang matulog na lang the whole day because sobrang pagod, etc. From duty. I have a go-to song. Meron akong song na I always listen to that song, lalo na pag sobra po akong down, no? When I feel too stressed. This song is from 5 for Fighting. Do you know them? Sila yung kumanta ng Superman. Diba? So the title of the song is Born to Win. O diba? Sa title pa lang ng song, Born to Win. It's very positive. Diba? Positive. Tingnan nyo yung lyrics niya. Part of the lyrics says, you were born to walk so that you could run. O diba? You were born to fall so that you could stand up strong. Sometimes you gotta bleed. No? Sometimes we have challenges. So you can feel your skin. You were born to win. So this really is my go-to song. And I hope that you can hear it. So sa mga hindi po familiar nito, this is how it sounds. 5 for Fighting. Sila yung kumanta ng Superman. Pakinggan natin ha. Let's see. Konti lang to, konti lang. Para marinig. You were born to walk.
Doc, nagpi-play na po ba?
Nagpi-play na.
Wala pa kami marinig.
Ay, walang marinig? Sorry. Oh my gosh. Sorry.
You have to share po sa ano po.
Stop sharing?
Yes.
Stop. Nagpi-play na siya. Sorry. Stop sharing ba ako, sir?
Okay po.
Yes, Doc. Okay, but sorry, walang marinig. Paano ba? Gusto niyo ayusin ko pa po or wala nang time, sir?
Nasa YouTube po ba siya?
Pinili ko lang yung YouTube siya, pinili ko lang yung part na yon. Masa-search nyo, but really, ako lang, personally, sayang, hindi pala narinig. Pero I can hear it from, kasi naka-share screen ako.
You can share, Doc. You can share po ulit. Nasa ano po siya? Chrome?
Yeah, oo.
I-share nyo lang po ulit sa Chrome, tapos open your YouTube po ba yan?
YouTube.
I-share nyo lang po.
Okay. Actually, hindi na ako techie about this, sir, but siguro you can listen na lang to the YouTube of this. But really, it's a good song. And mahaba siya na song from 5 for Fighting, and the message really is very inspiring and empowering, diba? Ito ang pinili ko dito, but a lot of lines pa rin are there. So, very, very inspiring, uplifting, and empowering. And with that, friends, my dears, I'm down to my last slide. Nawala na siya. Nag-stop share na ba ako, sir? I cannot see na actually.
Hindi pa, Doc. Yung pa rin.
Last slide. All right. So let us face the situation with strength and hope.
Okay, Doc.
Okay na? Sayang, no? Hindi pala narinig yun.
I will look po, no? I will share po yung ano.
Okay lang. Yeah. So anyway, this is my last slide. So please do not lose hope. Do not lose hope. I know na we are all strong. We've been through difficulties na in the past, and nakita naman natin any form of calamity, disaster, etc., we survived it and it made us all stronger and better individuals. So let us face this situation now with strength and hope. Maraming salamat po, Quezon City Public Library, and for everyone po now who were able to join us this afternoon on a Saturday. Maraming salamat po. Thank you. Yes, sir. Nag-stop na po ako, sir.
Okay, Doc. Ito na po.
Okay. Maraming salamat po. Thank you.
Hi,
Wow.
Doc.
Hi,
Thank you
Dr.
po.
Ann. Thank you po.
Thank you for that informative lecture and techniques on how to manage and handle stress. So, as you can see po, active po yung mga participants natin for today. So, madami po tayong questions na
wow.
naka-line up.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for listening.
Okay, Doc. So
Thank
Born
you
to
po,
Win,
Doc.
if you can search for that. Galing talaga ng song na yun. For me. So, kung
Noted
meron
po.
kayong mga go-to songs, diba? So, that's part of yung stress outlet. Listen to good songs, uplifting songs.
I can play na po, Doc, if you want.
Sir, pinili ko kasi yung segment lang na yun.
Sige po. Yung title. Sige po. I will.
Point 38, sir. Nag-start siya sa point 38.
Today you shine, my sun.
Ayan.
Earth is shaking. Don't be scared. You were born to walk so that you could run. You were born to fall so that you could stand up strong. Sometimes you gotta bleed so you can feel your skin. You were born to win.
Diba? Don't be scared.
You're not alone. We've been here before. On giant shoulders, tall you stand. All that you need, all is that you have.
Diba? Ganda, no? For me, talagang it picks me up anytime. You're not alone.
You were born to walk so that you could run. You were born to break so
Stick
that
in my
you
hand. May
could
kahawak
come
tayo.
back strong. The only way to start is for you to begin. You were born to win. 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 Here we lay, here we stand. You my love will never end. Take your arms in your hand. Come on, day you'll understand. Here we lay, here we stand. You my love will never
Okay. Thank you po. Diba? Galing. Yun talaga ang go-to. Kahit po, no? Kahit saan. Lagi siyang sa aking song. It's my go-to song. No? And okay na ako pag narinig ko yun, yung song na yun. I'm okay. I'm good. No? Kasi nga, it reminds us na, talagang sometimes we fall, but what's important is we rise again. We may have setbacks, but what's important is our comeback. Diba? Nandun yun sa song. Alright.
Thank you,
So,
Doc.
yes, thank you. So, ano po yung mga questions natin, Ma'am Ann? And
So,
Ma'am Bea?
let's move on po sa question and answer.
Sure.
Our first question po is there any relationship between hormonal imbalance and distress?
Yeah, correct.
Yes.
That is sorry. Sige, ma'am.
If yes daw po, how are they related to each other?
Yes, that's a very good question. Uh, in ano po, no, when we assess for any mental health concerns, issues, be it stress, distress, or a normal sadness, normal loneliness, etc., we always make sure that these emotions are not due to something na to a medical concern or medical problem. For example, nagre-request kami no, ng laboratory to make sure na thyroids are good, hormones are good. For example, when there is hypothyroidism, it can present with symptoms of low mood, depression. Pag meron namang hyperthyroid, it can present with symptoms of anxiety and stress. So parang stress lagi, mabilis ang tibok ng puso, laging pinagpapawisan, laging cold ang skin. So, yeah. So, also, for ladies, any changes in our monthly regular menses cycles, it can also pose a problem to our mood. Kasi they have, there's an interplay of our body kasi is like a computer, no? So if there's something which is medyo not working well, medyo may mga problems in the hormonal secretions, then it can also affect the other aspects of hormonal secretions in our body.
Oh, so
Okay.
Ms. Grace, for the next question.
For the next question, Doc, I think galing po ito sa kakapanganak pa lang po na ating participant.
Yes.
So, tinatanong niya po, paano po malalaman kung stress po ito or baka postpartum na pala yung nararamdaman niya?
Ang question siguro, congratulations, di ba? Kasi bagong panganak siya. How young is the baby? Kailan nanganak? Na-mention po ba, Ma'am Grace?
I believe during this pandemic lang po. So,
medyo bago pa.
Couple of months lang po.
Yeah, normal yun kasi with pag nanganganak talaga, no, there is also that normal effects sa hormones natin. So bumabagsak ang some of the hormones kasi nga nakalabas na si baby. Ang red flags, no, na baka this is something more serious and not just the regular stress or fatigue, lalo na pag gising tayo sa gabi to take care of our baby, magpapadede, change diaper. Number one is if nagkakaroon na po ng functional problem. Meaning, as a mom, you're not able na to take care of your child, you're not able na to take care of your baby, or nagkakaroon na ng harmful thoughts about kay baby, naapektuhan na, no? Yung the quality of our care for our baby. And of course, lastly, if it really persists, kasi meron naman tayong tinatawag na normal process of healing and recovery after giving birth. But if it persists, siguro, more than 2 months after ng nanganak, no, and you still feel down, you cannot take care of your baby, you feel you have negative thoughts na about baby, so it can be red flags already.
Okay, thank you, Doc. Miss Ina, question number 3.
Okay, Doc. So, how can you help someone who's dealing with stress, anxiety, and depression?
How can I help? Yeah. So again, when we say anxiety, depression, stress, we are saying here na these are symptoms. Na kasi always we think of all of these mental health or emotional concerns as part of a spectrum. Spectrum siya, na? So pwede naman normal stress, as mentioned kanina. Then kung medyo matagal-tagal, distress, and then we can have symptoms of anxiety, depression, but really not equivalent to a disorder. Iba kasi pag sinasabi na natin na clinical disorder. So, for those na hindi naman clinical disorder, then we will practice those mentioned kanina. The 15 tips plus 5 tips in adjusting to the new normal, keeping in mind na definitely the physical health and well-being and our mental and emotional well-being are intertwined. So dapat alagaan din natin ang ating physical health kasi it can have an effect on our mental health and well-being.
Okay, thank you, Doc. For question number 4 po, is excessive hair fall be a symptom of stress and what to do if this thing is happening po?
Oo. That naman, usually before we say na it's stress, we always need to rule out, kailangan ma-eliminate natin ang possibility na it's due to a medical problem. So, mas maganda po kung may access to any dermatologist, mas maganda masuri muna nila kung ano kaya ang cause ng hair fall or hair loss. Kasi meron na ang mga dermatologists, they are specialized in skin, nails, and hair. So, meron talagang mga tinatawagin tayo na alopecia. So, they are in the best position to assess that. And if they see na wala namang problem, no? Derma-wise, walang problem, then that's a time, no, na they can refer to a mental health professional for further assessment. Kasi nga, pwede din, it can be stress-related.
Yes po.
Thank you, Doc. Next question po. How can we keep calm po when you're in the middle of a stressful situation?
Oh, yeah, that's a good question. Kasi again, we are bombarded anytime by something stressful, no? Anything stressful. Ako na lang, I will share, no? Personally ako, kung sa dami ng kailangan namin i-rounds every day sa hospital, what I do when I feel really stressed and my emotions talaga are heightened, sobrang pagod, or parang naguguluhan ka na, confused about everything that you have to do, retreat muna. Go to a space na which is tahimik, wala masyadong sound, noise, hindi maingay, something peaceful, parang your happy place, di ba? Peaceful place. Close your eyes and then inhale, exhale. Take deep breathing. Do the deep breathing exercises as mentioned kanina. And some apps are available for this. Repeat 10 times. Slow inhale through the nose, 4 counts. Pause for 2 seconds, then exhale through pursed lips. Nakasarado ang mata para no distractions, no noise, etc. Turn off the lights. Studies have shown that if you do this, repeat 10 times, the cortisol or the stress hormone will really go down and blood pressure will stabilize, babagsak ang ating heart rate, hindi na tayo kakabahan, and our emotions, we come out from this exercise as relaxed, di ba? Relaxed individual. So, nababawasan, naiiwasan natin ang mga conflicts. Kaya di ba yung mga road rage, ha? Kung sa mga nagda-drive dito, kung tingin niyo po, nagagalit kayo, may nag-cut sa akin sa harap. Please, before you do anything po, na we may regret doing or saying something later on, kalma lang. Kalma talaga, no? Take deep breaths. Or turn on your music. Hayaan mo, magkakasabay din tayo sa traffic light, di ba? Ganun lang naman yon. So, keep calm, especially during this time na all of us are really facing through a difficult experience.
Thank you, Doc. So, another question po, actually, humingi po ng tip.
Yes.
To stop procrastinating.
Yeah.
What are the tips po?
Yes. If you feel, I think from a student ito, no? Kasi nga mga students ngayon, from reports lang naman to, no? Personally, from reports of those under my care, grabe daw ang the stress ngayon, no? Because they get a lot of mga requirements from online, because of the online transition to online classroom. What's important is that kung tingin niyo sobrang malaki, about thesis level, you need to submit your thesis by December, for example. So as not to procrastinate, again, set a routine. It's important that you regain that sense of normalcy, set specific schedules, break it down into smaller goals and tasks na which are more doable para you do not get overwhelmed sa dami ng kailangan gawin. Break it down into smaller tasks. And at the end of the day, if you're able to do those tasks, nagawa mo ang first paragraph ng chapter 1, tomorrow, second paragraph ng chapter 1, then you'd feel good. Break it down into smaller goals and tasks.
Doc, follow-up question lang po. Regarding na po for the students and for the parents. Paano kaya may iwasan nagiging stressor ang mga parents sa mga students? No, instead of nakaka-adapt sila doon sa online learning, yung mga parents nila yung naging stressor, at naging stress. What can you advise sa mga parents po na
Yes. Oo, as mentioned kanina, no, we really, all of us, we are really adapting pa, adjusting pa to this online classes, distance learning, shift to work from home. So marami kasing factors, no, na which may, ano, marami kasing factors na which may affect na the mood or the emotional state of the parents. So I'm sure no marami din kasing iniisip ang ating mga parents like kalimbawa finances, ang upkeep ng bahay, pagluluto, pagpe-prepare ng mga uniform, etc. So please parents, if you can, this is the time to really give that be more patient, be more compassionate, not just to our kids, understanding, not just to our kids, but to our teachers as well. Kasi lahat talaga tayo, this is something new for all of us. Mas maganda, we work together as a team.
Doc, so another question po is excessive hair fall be a symptom of stress? What to do po if this is happening?
Excessive hair fall. Yeah. Yes. Thank you. Again, ako, I would like for him or her po sana to have it checked muna, have it checked out by a dermatologist. They are the specialists for skin, hair, and nails to make sure lang, to make sure lang na this is something na not medically related, meaning baka may problem kasi hormonal, or baka it's something to do with the things that they put on their hair, shampoo, allergy, alopecia. So pag na-rule out na yon, pag clear naman, it's not due to those, it can be a sign of one of the signs of stress. And kung after ma-clear ng derma, then we can definitely address that, talk about it, and strengthen mga coping skills so that we lessen yung mitigate the effects of hair fall. Uy, lakas ng kulog. Narinig niyo ba yun? Nakakagulat.
Thank you, Doc. So another question po, Doc. Is it true that if you are a vegetarian, you are prone to stress? Some studies say that eating just vegetable can make your mood short-tempered. I have not come, personally, I have not come across a study which says that being a vegetarian can make you more prone to stress. But please remember na in fact, food, kaya nga sinulat ko dun kayo na eat well, it means there are certain foods na which can help boost the levels of serotonin, one of the happy hormones natin in our body. There are food na which can boost the level of endorphins, micronutrients, which are present from in our fruits and vegetables, can help in the production of enzymes to boost the level production of serotonin. Mas maganda po include banana. They are rich in serotonin po. Banana, avocado are good sources of these micronutrients to help build and produce serotonin. So green leafy vegetables, in fact, are very good. Yung sinabi niya kanina, but we can also get these micronutrients, which are essential kasi, building blocks for the production of serotonin from meat. Not naman any form of meat, but from fish and chicken. So, but primarily fish. So, kung kaya naman, kung pwede sa diet, if it's not restricted from the diet, maybe they can add fish in the diet. And dark chocolates are also good sources of serotonin. Go for 70% or higher. Wag yung milk chocolate kasi it can only add weight, diba? But go for 70% or higher.
Thank you, Doc. So our next question is, how are we going to deal with toxic people? How can we avoid this kind of people since they are one of the reason why you feel stress?
Yes, yeah. That is also a good question. in life, no, we cannot avoid that, di ba? Kahit naman saan tayo pupunta, even in our homes, offices, sa school, may mga ano talaga, no, there can be differences in our personalities, na nagkakaiba, nagka-clash sometimes sa ating personalities, but what's important is we maintain that professional relationship, and if kaya, maintain it, no? There should be that boundary between personal and professional relationships natin. When we need to be in a meeting with these people, then yeah, just do your job, do our work, the roles that we need to do, keep it professional. Then after that, avoid. Kasi we also need to set boundaries. Now, we need to know what are life-nurturing, life-giving for us, and what can be draining, di ba? Yung toxicity for us, no? So avoid those na which may drain us of our energy. Set boundaries.
Thank you, Doc. Pwede pa po ba, Doc? Another question?
Of course! Yes! Oo naman!
Yeah, ready si
Meron pa
Doc.
naman internet, pero medyo malakas na atang ulan. So let's just be lang careful.
Okay, another question, Doc. I have eating disorder po, like bulimia. I tend to starve myself. Does that mean po na-stress pa din po ako sa nangyari sa akin before? Dahil nabully po ako dati na mataba daw po ako.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a good question, and I am not sure lang if our the person, no, who asked about this was really assessed by a mental health professional, or baka ano lang, no, from the readings. So it can be a ano din, no? It can be a behavior, no, which persisted up to now as a form of coping, na, for us not to go back doon sa state siguro dati, na when we were bullied, para we maintain kung ano man yung ano na natin ngayon, how we are physically at this point. It may be a coping mechanism to combat that memories about bullying. But ako, personally, I would suggest na we sana focus on coping strategies na which are more healthier forms of coping, handling our eating problems.
Okay, Doc?
Kasi it can pose kasi, no, when we force ourselves to do things like vomiting, etc., use of laxatives, it can have effects on our physical state and well-being.
Okay, Miss Ina?
Doc, is crying a sign of weakness daw po, Doc?
Ano po yun, Ma'am Grace? Is
crying a sign of weakness?
crying.
Yes, Doc.
No! No. In fact, if you feel na you want to cry and cry, it is a good way of expressing your emotions. Maganda yon. And it's very healthy kasi it allows you to express it, to prevent yung bottling up of emotions inside us. So maganda yon. If you feel that you need to cry, please cry. All of us do that. Ako personally, I cried then, no? Kung talagang sobrang stressful na, but it makes me feel good after I let it out. So it's a healthy form of coping.
Okay. Another question po, Doc. What should I do when I saw a post online depicting an attempt to self-harm? Is it right to chat that person right away?
Okay. So this is more on the mga threat to the safety of oneself or others. So siguro if you come across any posts like this na merong threat na to one's safety or safety of other people, ako personally, I would suggest na you reach out. Di ba yung photo kanina doon na reach out, may nakaganyan na fingers na may happy happy drawings. If you can reach out, maybe send a private message, kakamustahin lang, no? Maganda pa rin yon, so that that person who posted it would feel that he is not going through that difficult situation on his or her own, and that there are people who are concerned and who care about them. And make sure na there's na they are safe, na someone is with them, para lang to make sure na we can prevent anything serious from happening.
Okay. Miss Ina?
Ito, Doc. Wait lang po. When we assess and stress the stress and distress that would be the effect, what would be the effective method that to use? Huh? Ulit, Doc.
Yes.
When we assess the stress and distress, that would be the effective method that the best use. That ang ibig sabihin niya po siguro dito, Doc,
Yes.
when we assess stress and distress, what would be the effective method to use?
Yeah. So, actually yun, it can differ among ourselves. Iba-iba naman ang ating go-to na stress management technique or strategy. So, iba-iba. So, kung if this person, this individual feels na mas mabilis ma-relieve ang kanyang stress, if halimbawa lang na itulog niya, then, di ba, kanina number 1 nga yun, di ba? So, I mean, number 2 siya, stress eat, no? So, anything naman can work. Nag-iiba-iba siya, depende din on our resources, on our interests. Yung iba, when they feel stressed, they dance, di ba? Kasi nga, dancing, TikTok, di ba? Ang saya-saya nun, no? Tawa-tawa sila. Ang iba naman, they paint. That's a way of expression nila, no? They paint, they cook. Ang dami kong friends na nare-relieve ang kanilang stress when they cook something and then they taste it. Ang sarap-sarap.
Yes,
And
or
then
baking.
they take photos of that. So iba-iba naman. Just reflect on what works best for you.
Thank you, Doc. So, Miss Grace?
Thank you, Doc. Ito po, Doc, galing sa isang student. There are
Yes.
professors that are super strict in online class. As a student, how do we approach them to request for consideration of tasks we missed?
Yeah.
Or how do we approach now the professors?
Yes. Correct. Kasi
Kapag,
again talaga, we are facing something new. We are going through something new. Lahat talaga tayo. And baka our professors also are adjusting pa to this new system, new method of delivery ng kanilang mga lessons. So I would suggest, again, for teachers who are present here, allot some time before you start your class. Allot some time, siguro mga 5 minutes to kamustahan, to ask your students, kamusta kayo? How are you? How have you been coping with everything that's happening now with this online learning? Mas maganda, teachers, allot some time, not ACADS related ang pag-uusapan, but really kamustahan para the students also can have that platform for them to talk to you and discuss with you about the challenges that they are facing. Open lines of communication are always very important. Or for the student, kung nahihiya naman siya to talk in front of the members ng class, then baka he or she can send a private message and request for a one-on-one meeting with this prof, just to tell them, tell the profs and be open to them about the challenges now you are facing. I'm sure si profs nyo naman are open to dialogues like this. I'm sure. Kasi nga lahat tayo, even kami personally, I would like to share. Kami nga, I'm also a teacher. Our dean for ACADS has always reminded us to be extra compassionate during this time. So we understand, we know na talagang everyone is going through a difficult time now, and I'm sure your prof will listen to you.
Okay.
Kasi napayuhan na rin yan sila ng kanilang mga deans.
Yes po. Thank you po.
Thank you, Doc. So, next question po. As a teacher, to what extent do we take responsibility in assisting a student who was formerly diagnosed with mental problem? Gumaling na po siya within a duration that he went through rehabilitation. Now that he is currently enrolled, his condition is recurring.
Oh, okay. So, mas maganda, again, teachers kasi talagang you are ang teachers, na, you are the frontliners in education. So talagang your role is really very important. In fact, you are frontliners in education. Kayo ang second parents of all of the students under your care. Mas maganda po if you continue to support your students who may have gone through some problems in the past. Encourage them to continue to seek help. Baka lang, no, na your school would have a number. Give them numbers. Give them numbers, hotlines, helplines, wherein they can contact your guidance offices or yung clinic ninyo, or mga important numbers na whom they can call or contact for their to guide them through this difficult time nila.
Okay po.
Pwede din ang mga teachers to provide a buddy system. Someone to, buddy-buddy ang mga ang mga classmates, na, para kung wala si teacher, then this classmate can also help in monitoring this classmate buddy-buddy system and provide helplines and hotlines.
Thank you, Doc. Ms. Grace?
Another question po. Doc, nakaka-cause po ba ng dark and dull skin ang stress?
Dull skin?
Yes. Dark and dull skin.
Pwede, yeah. Kung nakita nyo kanina, yung doon, so yung kanina, the first part, so effects of stress, it can manifest in all our organ systems. It can affect, including skin natin. Nakita niyo yung picture kanina, di ba? Yung with stress, without stress, especially sleep deprived. Mas nagda-darken yung under eyes, nagkaka-circles, etc. So it can also have that impact, have that effect on our physical health and well-being.
Ms. Ina?
Yes, Doc. Another question po is panic attack a sign of distress?
Panic attack?
Yes.
Yeah, it can happen. Make sure lang, kasi lalo na halimbawa, this usually happens sa mga students na who are tasked to present something in oral exam, or they are tasked to present in front of a group, yung paper nila, etc. Or bago mag-meeting with your boss, pwedeng mag-panic attack, you feel palpitations, hirap huminga, then you feel sweaty, ganon. So, if it's just a one-time thing and nawawala din siya, it resolves after that meeting, after presentation, then it should be okay. It's a normal reaction of our body. So, pero please monitor it, kasi kung kahit na out of the blue, if it happens out of the blue and it happens frequently, kahit wala naman reason to be afraid of or to be scared about, then maybe we need to talk to someone about it. Kung bakit siya paulit-ulit, even without a trigger.
Okay, thank you, Doc. Another question. How to lessen the anger within family members now that we are all together in the house?
Oh, yeah. Thank you for that question. It can really happen, kasi the longer we are confined in our own homes, kasama natin pare-pareho, together, with our family, with our siblings, etc. Unlike before, na siguro 1 hour a day lang kasi nasa work, pag uwi, tulog na, etc. Now, we have a term for that, yung being together in one place at the time and always you have the same people with you. Pwedeng it can lead to cabin fever, yung tawag namin doon, in a cabin, lahat kayo doon, so it can cause, it may lead to frictions within the members of the family. Please, what we can do is find a spot, if you can, find a place in your own homes na pag nandun ka, do the things which make you feel good or happy. Be it, parang space sa couch ninyo. Ang iba naman, what they do is, in that spot, para to avoid conflicts, they listen to music, they put on their headphones, they watch mga videos from their phones, from their gadgets, para lang to have that me time. Kasi nga, you are alone, listening to music, relaxing music, etc.
Doc, can we accommodate more questions?
Oo naman.
Yan
Yes,
lang.
ma'am. Oo, may time limit. Okay lang ako.
Okay
Okay lang
lang
ako.
po. Sige po.
Yeah.
So,
Kasi nga, it's a mental health awareness, no? Day. So, maganda if
you
open.
know,
We are
so,
open to all. Mhm.
next question po. My daughter is depressed. How can she cope with low energy and sleeping too much? It affects her day-to-day activities. How can I help her?
Okay. So bale, I'm not lang sure kasi if this has already been assessed by a doctor, na yung
Ako,
about the depression. But as a parent, it's really important, even for those under my care, I always include the parents in the family and the therapeutic management, na kasi nga the child should never go through this situation on her own. So, mas maganda for the parents, it's always important to continue giving your unconditional love and support to your children who may be going through tough times. So you can offer them, kung tulog ng tulog, then baka you may encourage them to, gising na, then you can do stuff together, like siguro mag-ano kayo, exercise, yoga kayo together, para lang na the child will have that sense pa rin of structure to her day. And make sure lang that we remember that ang depression kasi, it's a medical problem. So, hindi siya arte-arte lang, hindi siya parang drama-drama lang para makaiwas sa trabaho sa bahay or makaiwas pumasok sa school. It is a true medical problem, and that's why the support, the love, unconditional love and support of family, friends, is really very crucial. So continue lang po, ma'am. Continue lang po, sir, to be there for your kid, for your child.
Okay po, thank you, Doc. Another question, nakakamatay po ba ang depression kasi nagpapalpitate na rin po ako kahit di umiinom ng coffee? So,
okay. Kung palpitations, hindi siya masyado depression, na it's a symptom of anxiety, na yung palpitation, parang kinakabahan, parang may panic attack, na kahit walang kape, parang mabilis ang tibok ng puso, mataas ang blood pressure, parang kinakapos ng hangin, etc. Those are symptoms of anxiety. Before we say that this is really anxiety or panic attack or anxiety disorder, what's important is, again, rule out, make sure na medically you are cleared, meaning go to an internist or a physician, have your cardiac status checked, kasi baka naman yung iba, they have an underlying cardiac problem which would make them feel the palpitations or increase in heart rate. Make sure lang na it's clear na walang problema sa puso and sa lungs. So usually the doctor would order chest x-ray, complete yung blood workup, and 12-lead ECG.
okay.
next question po, Doc, is how to handle stress at the workplace, especially with your boss. So he is asking po for her wife na currently pregnant po.
Sorry, Ma'am Ann, he is currently asking for...
He's asking for her wife po, who is pregnant. So, how to handle yun daw po, Doc. How to handle stress at the workplace, especially with your boss.
So we do not know that, kung ano ang the personality again of the boss or the colleague sa trabaho. And again, it can really happen. We have, yun kasi again, yung slide kanina na, there's really some things na we have no control over. For example, we have no control over the attitude or the personality ng boss nila. Talagang, baka kasi as a boss, meron talaga siyang goals and personality na we have no control over those. But for your wife, focus on the things na she has control over. Yun ang ano natin, na? Like, halimbawa, para wag siyang ma-stress sa boss niya, then focus siya on her job, just finish the tasks assigned to her, minimize na siguro kung again, the boundary, na? Professional versus personal boundary. If we can ask the team or the management na, it happens. With the work from home, I forgot to mention this kanina. Ang isa sa problem ngayon with the work from home is, ang sabi nila, naririnig ko, no, from those under my care, medyo nabablur ang lines between personal and professional boundary, yung time. Sometimes, kahit nasa bahay, kasi nga online work from home, sometimes the management would send messages, texts, emails, even at night or during the weekends. So maganda din na you can suggest na, sir, pwede bang we maintain that 8 to 5 Monday to Friday na professional schedule para at least we maintain pa rin that me time, no work-life balance, especially on weekends na walang pasok, and no emails, no messages Friday ng hapon hanggang Monday ng umaga. So again, open communication lines are very important.
Thank you po. Next.
Okay, another question po. Doc,
Yes.
sumakit po yung heart ko. Sign na po ba yun ng stress or anxiety?
Sumakit ang heart?
Opo. Kasi nung nag-exercise po ako or nag-cardio, wala na po, as in super relax na po ako. Tapos palpitate daw po.
Medyo yun, no? Mas maganda ma-check siya, no? Kasi we do not know the age, kung ano ang mga current niya the physical state. Mahirap to comment if we do not really see them physically, no? And take the vital signs, kasi nga those are important parameters for us to say, no? Na if this is really anxiety already, or baka nga there is a need to check muna, make sure, di ba yung what we do, yung mga annual exam,
Yes.
or bago mag-marathon, and then triathlon, di ba? Bago mag-triathlon, talagang nag-ano sila, no? Nag-check ng ECG, cardiac state, kasi nga baka ma-overwork ang ating mga muscles ng heart. So make sure na physically you are okay before we say na this is something mental, psychological, or in nature.
Okay, thank you, Doc.
Doc, ask ko po how to handle people who have suicidal tendencies.
Yeah. Yes. Paano kaya yun? May elaboration ba siya? Like, is it a friend? Or nababasa ba niya through online sa Facebook? Kasi kung walang na-mention about it, make sure that you are there to give your support. Let the person know na you are there to listen. In fact, yung listening in itself, if you reach out, no? Again, reach out, yung nasa slide kanina, reach out. The mere listening, active listening, you listen to your friend kung ano yung pinagdadaanan niya, that can be therapeutic already. But make sure na meron silang kasama always sa bahay to make sure that they are safe and someone is with them who can help bring them to the hospital or emergency room if really necessary.
Okay, Miss Ina, I guess we can have last two questions po. Gaining po ng timbang po ba is a symptom of stress?
Gaining timbang?
Apo.
Kailan siya nag-gain ng timbang and ilan? Kasi ngayon, during this starting May, March tayo nag-ECQ, di ba? Yeah. Marami ang nag-ano sa akin, sabi na, Doc, paano to? I gained some few pounds, kilos, ganon. Kasi nga, nawala, yung routine of running, walking, exercising sa labas, or tatakbo kasi malilate na for work, etc. But I always remind them and reassure them, it's okay, it's okay to gain a few pounds, a few kilos. Remember na we are in the middle of a pandemic, and ang concern talaga natin ngayon is that our immune system is good, it's strong, and we are healthy. Yun ang importante ngayon. Hindi na muna about our figure and all. But what's also important is we balance it out with physical activity. Para kahit madami tayong kinakain, we are still able to move about and improve the blood circulation, especially to our brain cells. So balance lang, balance. If we eat, then we do physical activity as well.
Thank you, Doc. So, last question po. What can we do in home when panic attack happen frequently?
Frequently. So kung frequently na siya na out of the blue, then first, pwede natin gawin yung mga the natural na stress, mga stress outlet, coping skills, stress management exercises like deep breathing. If I may say, no, ako nga, even in my phone, I have a meditation app. I won't mention the name, pero parang it helps me, no? It guides me to do deep breathing exercises. Meron din mga apps na which can help yung mag-think kayo of a happy place. It will bring you to that happy place, which would evoke happy or positive emotions. And that can definitely help to calm you down during an attack, a panic attack. Ang panic attack then, ito din I would like to share, if you notice, for those in the audience na nagkaka-panic attack, usually, how long siya? How long does a panic attack last? Alright? Take note. Kasi mafe-feel nyo siya, no? Napaakyat na, parang nagpa-palpitations na, parang, mahihimatay na ako, no? Or parang nagsusweat ako, etc. You will feel it, and then meron lang siyang peak. But after that, do not worry, be reassured that after it reaches that peak, magsasubside din siya. So, again, it will subside after some time. And usually, that increase, magpipeak siya, palpitations, etc., magsasubside. Usually, from literature, from the books, it's around 30 minutes. Alright? So, do not be afraid. Matatapos din siya in about 30 minutes and you'll be okay. But kung talagang frequent and you feel na it's really disrupting na your functionality, hindi ka na nakakapasok sa work, hindi ka na nakakapasok sa school because it's paulit-ulit na and you can't do anything anymore, affected na ang quality of your work, etc., please seek help already. Para baka there might be a need to give other forms of treatment or management options for that. Help is available. In fact, may mga medications which we give for panic attacks.
Okay. Thank you, Doc. Ito, Doc, last na lang daw po ito. Pahabol.
Last na lang. Oo naman.
Ito po, Doc. I was diagnosed of depression last December. How will I know if I am not depressed anymore na po? I decided to stop taking prescripted medicines because I did not want to depend on it.
Okay. So at least she or he consulted with a mental health professional who prescribed medications. But I would just like to share that to advise na ang medications for depression are not addicting. All right? Hindi siya addicting. Kasi it targets the serotonin imbalance in our brain, the happy hormones. When we are depressed kasi bagsak ang serotonin levels natin. So the antidepressants, in fact, will push up the level of serotonin in our brain. So hindi siya addicting. We only take it for a period lang as advised by your doctor. But to answer the other question, we will know if you are feeling much better already when, number one, you are able not to do your activities of daily living independently, walang problema in terms of functionality, productivity at work or in school, and no problems in terms of interpersonal relationships, so hindi mainit ang ulo, hindi irritable towards family members or friends, and productivity, di ba? Yun lagi yung nakalagay doon sa definition of mental health kanina, na we are able to work productively and fruitfully. So those, and of course, no negative thoughts, like self-harm thoughts, suicidal thoughts. So wala yun, It's more of positive thoughts, positive outlook in life, a hopeful outlook in life, and we express positive plans for the future.
Thank you, Doc. So, last na po to. Last na.
Alam mo naman, malakas ka sa akin. Ma'am Grace, yes.
Depressed na po ba ang isang tao kung inuulit-ulit na niyang sinasabi ang problema mula paggising sa umaga until matutulog sa gabi? Yung pati sa panaginip niya ay nasasalita niya ang problema niya. At pag napaka-stern ng panga niya, parang nangangalit lagi. Depression na po ba yun or anxiety?
Ano yun? Yung last part, Ma'am Ann, nasi-strain ang panga? Ano po yun?
Ano po, Dok? At
Ang
pag
panga?
napaka-stern po ng panga
Stern.
niya. Stern po.
Stern, ang attitude.
Yung panga daw po niya, Dok.
Panga.
Opo.
Parang matigas?
Opo.
Parang nagko-contract ang muscle siguro, parang ganon.
Opo.
Yeah. Yes. So, if this is a one-time thing, kung one time lang naman siya, and identifiable, no, yung source of stress, kung bakit siya nalulungkot, identifiable naman. At kung na-address na yon, ang situation na yon, stop na. So, one time lang siya, then it's okay, na? Kasi, again, when we feel stressed, nagkakaroon tayo ng mga bodily aches and pains, mga muscular tension, headache, pwede yun, no? So mga parang naninigas, etc. Kahit dito, no? Kaya yung iba nga, ang coping skill nila is magpapamassage, na? To remove yung mga tension natin. So kung one time lang, it's not, then it's okay. What we need to look out, if it's persistent, kung tuloy-tuloy na ganon, every day for siguro persistence of mga 2 weeks, na everyday ganon lagi, then that's a red flag already na we need to siguro talk to someone na about it. If it affects the functionality, kung hindi na nakakagawa ng ibang bagay dahil yun na lang lagi ang paulit-ulit na naiisip, and it makes them feel paralyzed, no? Meaning dahil sa mga thoughts nila, wala na silang nagagawa. Kahit maglinis ng bahay, they can't do that anymore. Take care of the kids, they can't do that anymore. Then so those are red flags na we need to monitor for. And of course, again, self-harm, mga negative thoughts. Kasi baka sa pag-iisip ng mga problema, umaabot na sa point na they feel hopeless already, or they feel na they can't do it anymore, and the only thing which can help them is to just do something to hurt themselves. So, yung tatlo na yon, persistence, if it's paulit-ulit, matagal, functional impairment, and suicidal or self-harm thoughts because of hopelessness, then please ask for help. There are helplines provided kanina, available. We are here to help you.
Okay, ayan. Thank you, Dr. Joanne. Medyo napahaba na po ang ating Q&A. Very active po ang ating mga participants for today.
Sobra! Alam mo, really, thank you po, ha? Thank you po. Di ba in-announce lang natin kasi to, the QC Library announced this event last Monday afternoon, di ba? So I'm really, grabe, overwhelming po ang response ng lahat. Given the 4 days lang na announcement, and here we are, we reached around 500 kanina. Maraming salamat po, and I really appreciate po na for all of you to be able to join us this afternoon. I hope marami po kayong natutunan at marami po tayong matutulungan because of the learnings na we had this afternoon, and I wish you all a very, very happy World Mental Health Day. Thank you po.
Thank you din po,
thank you po.
So, let's move on to the presentation of certificate.
Okay, Sir Caloy. Let me just kindly read the citation.
Yeah.
So, this certificate of recognition is presented to Dr. Joan Mae G, Perez-Rifareal, for sharing her knowledge and expertise as resource speaker of the webinar entitled Distress or De-Stress, a talk on how to take care of oneself during tough times, given this 10th day of October 2020. Signed by Ms. Mary Ann L. Bernal, Head Reader Services Division, Ms. Marisa G. Chico, OIC City Library, and Carlos L. Eclevia Jr., Project Head of Regalo Touching Lives. So again,
yes, thank you very much, Quezon City Public Library, and of course, Sir Carlos of our Regalo Touching Lives. Always. Really, I'm really grateful. O, diba? Grateful. Gratitude. O, diba? Really grateful.
So, Doc, may nag-ask po ng can we promote your clinic po?
Ay, oo naman.
Yan.
They can send me a message. Pag minsan lang talaga hindi ko nasasagot, I have someone else to answer it kasi nag-duty din po ako sa hospital. Di ba yung kanina? Nag-duty din po kasi kami sa ER, no? We've been called na to do ER duty. So, pag minsan hindi ko man nasasagot, iba ang sumasagot po, yung aking kasama. But please send me a message sa aking Facebook page, Healthy Mind Clinic.
Yun po.
That's me, Healthy Mind Clinic, or directly message me sa aking Facebook page. Facebook Facebook account. Pero please be patient lang kasi sometimes talaga, grabe. Hindi ko na bubuksan kaagad ang aking pages because of hospital duty, but really I appreciate it if you can drop a line or two.
Thank you, Doc. So, Sir Kaloy?
Ano na? Na-overwhelm ako eh. Kababayan ko pala si Doc. Hindi Bisaya ko din si Doc. Anyway.
Bisaya! Kaya I was really happy kanina, no? Meron sa Surigao, Cagayan de Oro.
Yes.
Akong mga kababayan na sila. Kababayan, ako, Tubong, Iligan City.
Yeah. Ako, Doc, taga-ano ako. Yung family ko, mother side, taga, ano kami, sa Magpait. Yeah, Mantikaw. Yeah.
Mantikaw. Doon ra kaayo.
Yes. Okay, Doc.
Doon kaayo ta, sir. Neighbors ta, neighbors.
Okay.
Thank you,
Alright.
thank you.
Thank you, Doc. Thank you very much.
Exit na ko, sir?
Yes, Doc.
Yes, Doc.
Okay, bye everyone.
Bye, Doc.
Thank you, and take care. Take care again.
Take
Let's
care din po, Doc.
face everything with strength and hope. All right, thank you. We are all in this together. Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Doc.
Ayan, so for our e-certificate, you can accomplish
Closing remarks. Closing remarks.
Ayan, so for our closing remarks, let us hear from Ms. Mary Ann Bernal, Head of Reader Services Division, Quezon City Public Library.
Again, good day everyone. Our webinar is not complete if we cannot give thanks to all of you for joining us today. And this is our motto, learning from the best. I'm sure we acquired a lot of tips from our good speaker, Dr. Joan Mae G, who never failed to educate us about mental health, distress or distress, a talk on taking care of oneself during tough times. Again, in this time of pandemic, and according to our doctor, we should not only aware of our physical body, but also of our healthy minds, for us, for our family, and aware of what we think, do or act. Have a positive outlook in life and believe that God is in control. Nevertheless, I would like to thank and acknowledge our energetic partner, Mr. Carlos Iclebia of Regalo Touching Lives. Sir, thank you. Our Quezon City government, headed by our Mayor Joy Belmonte, for her support. Our QCPL family, and of course, our My Reader Services Division team. At this point of no goodbyes, it's not the end of our learnings. See you on our next webinar. Keep safe, be positive. Thank you.
Thank you po, Ms. May, for that wonderful closing remarks po. Sa isa na po natin napakasipag na boss, si Ms. May. And this webinar will not be, hindi po magiging possible dahil po sa Reader Services, paghirap po ng Reader Services Division.
So as you can see on the screen po, nakapost na po yung ating evaluation form. And the PIN code for this webinar is stress. So capital S po, yung first and last letter. Ayan. So you have until October 4?
No, October 12. October 12,
Yeah, sorry.
October
October
12,
12,
Monday, 4
p.m. po.
p.m.
Yan. So, hoping po na nag-enjoy kayo at maraming natutunan to this webinar. So, stay tuned po kayo and sana makita din po namin kayo sa webinar on cybercrime on October 26. So, maraming salamat po and have a nice weekend.
Thank you po.
Thank you, Miss Grace.
Thank you,
Miss
everyone.
Ina.
Thank you po, Sir
Thank
Kaloy.
you sa lahat. Bye.